So the band Motorhead has been making a lot of headlines in March 2026. Unfortunately, that has a lot to do with the passing of legendary guitarist Phil Campbell, dying at the age of 64. Now, with his passing, leaves Mikkey Dee to be the only surviving member of Motorhead left, which is a very, very hard thing to deal with, realizing that Mikkey Dee ain't getting any younger, but once he's gone, everything about Motorhead is gone. However, Mikkey Dee decided to start a band.
Long ago, five men set out from their own paths to achieve their own destinies. Now they are brothers, united under one cause. Alone they are strong, together they are unbreakable. They are bonded by metal.
Okay, I'm torn on what to think with supergroups. On one hand, they can be very good, but then again, on the other hand, they can just feel uninspired, forced, and they just sometimes don't work. And hey, I'm always willing to give anything a shot, especially when it's from Mikkey Dee, obviously a legendary drummer, one of the best drummers of all time, in my opinion, and my personal favorite Motorhead drummer. Yeah, you can come at me with that one. However, it's not just with Motorhead where Mikkey Dee picked up his fame. Obviously, played with the likes of Dokken. He's played with the Scorpions, and he's played with King Diamond, which is where things get really interesting. You see, some of his bandmates from King Diamond, especially guitarist Pete Blakk, decided to form a band with Mikkey Dee. And this band is called Lex Legion. The band also contains members such as Andy LaRocque, um, Hal Patino, and Nils K. Rule from Pagan's Mind on vocals. So obviously, I had to, I was interested in hearing what this band had to offer. And today they decided to drop their first ever single called Sleep Eternally. And while not necessarily the best thing I heard, it wasn't bad. I need to hear more from them before I really pass judgment on the band. But obviously, with one song, it can be hard to pass judgment. However, I did like, I liked what I heard. I think, it sounds maybe a little bit too much. A little bit kind of gave me this, I don't know, like Concentrate from Diamond Head kind of sound to it. I don't know how to describe it. Maybe a little bit of King Diamond, but it's very hard to place King Diamond when the vocals of K. are just not the same as Diamond. But um, I didn't think it was bad at a haunting. It was very haunting. It definitely had great musicianship, and you know so again, there's really not much to say. I think it didn't, you know, knock my socks off as holy cow, this is one of the best things that I've heard in a long time. But it also didn't make me feel like, oh, this is bad. It just kind of left me wanting, I guess it left me wanting a little more and interested to see what they released. I guess maybe with Mikkey Dee on drums and just with the lineup, I think I could have expected a little more from them, but obviously it's not bad. We'll have to see what they offer. So it's worth keeping their eye on to see what they do. And, especially they've said they're going to do an album. So we'll have to see where this goes. But this is one to keep an eye on. I just wanted to bring a short update to you on the song just because it's involving Mikkey Dee, and I love Mikkey Dee. And I think, obviously with a super group like this, it's probably worth mentioning. So, yeah, again, it was good, not impressive, but again, it wasn't bad. Anyways, that's all I've got for you folks today. Until I rear my voice in the next one, live hard and stay free.